Bingo. Now we got it. All right, being 5:30 and having quorum. Good evening, everybody. I'm Marilyn McDonald, Chair of Bridgewater Conservation Commission, and I am going to open tonight's meeting being 3/26/26. I'm going to read in first the governor and the agenda, and we will go from there. So public meeting notice of agenda, Thursday, March 26, 2026 at 5:30. Disclosure pursuant to the Section 20, Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021 and the Act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency. This meeting of the Conservation Commission in the town of Bridgewater will be hybrid and accessible to the public through remote participation at the greatest extent possible. There will be no public attendance permitted. Citizens who wish to join into the meeting can do so via Zoom, virtual Zoom meeting, attended with the is found on the website, and you click the link below, and we are here for you. So with that being said, I am just gonna let you know who the members are. I do a little spiel before I go into the agenda. So tonight present is myself, Marilyn McDonald, Chair, member Eileen Prisco, member Deb Johnson, Vice Chair Laurie Keene, our staff from CED, Robert Ruley, and a big welcome, please, for our new agent, Daniel Levesque. If you want to just say a quick hi.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dan Levesque. I'm happy to be here. As some of you may know, I'm here in Bridgewater and in Halifax, but I am happy to help both committees to the best of my ability and sort of take over where Caitlin left off.
Thank you, Dan. So again, we're thrilled to have Dan, and just please know that this meeting is being recorded by YouTube within usually about 48 hours. So just before I read the agenda, just a little spiel, just so people know who haven't been on one of our hearings, what Bridgewater Conservation does and how the meetings go. Bridgewater Conservation Commission is governed by both state and local bylaws, Protection Act, along with our rules and performance standards that we adhere to. That ensures that the project meets all requirements and has minimal impact to our surrounding wetlands. Bridgewater Conservation has a jurisdiction of 100 feet of bordering vegetated wetland and 200 feet of any riverfront. Our bylaws can currently be found on our webpage. This is going to be the only way that we determine any decision is strictly by rules, regulations, and performance standards. What's going to happen during this meeting is the applicant will present the filing. Once the applicant presents the filing, I do open it up to the board members along with our agent and our community economic developer that's on currently. We will open the meeting then to the public. We encourage the public to speak during any hearings that they have, keeping it 3 minutes again, we encourage that as we might miss things as we're going through these filings. Please direct all questions to myself, the chair, and then I will direct them who can help you and assist you the best. The board's going to do either one of two things. If we feel we have enough information, we're going to close the public hearing. If we close it, we have 21 days to render our decision. If we feel we don't have enough information, we're going to continue it. Once we do a continuation, you will not get notices in the mail again. This meeting will be your notice of a continuation. Once we do close, there is a decision period of 10 business days for any appeal before an order of conditions becomes valid, and that has to be written within to Mass DEP. That spiel being said, I'm going to read to order now, calling to order the Bridgewater Conservation Commission hearing for 3/26. On our agenda, we have old business 29 Indridge Road. We have no business, a notice of intent 550 Curve Street, 548 South Street, and a notice of intent on Off Summer. We have conservation business of administrative items, certificate of compliance for 911 Conant. We have Bridgewater, Raynham, Sand and Stone, cease and desist. We have 1010 Elm Street enforcement update, and we have the town wetland protection bylaws. That being said, we are now open, and I am going to go right into notice of intent 29 Ridge, map 85, lot 93. The applicant representative is Matthew and Lewis Rivers with Silver Engineering. We do have a DEP file number on this for DEP file number SE 116-1578. So do we have Rebecca or somebody from Silver?
Unmute. I am here. 1 moment. Am I here? Almost. Oh, okay.
Here she is.
There I am. You can hear me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I can't hear you. That's so difficult. Okay. Good evening. Rebecca, Silver Engineering, 29 Indian Ridge. Am I allowed to share?
Hang on a second.
Sorry, I had to go shut my radio off. It was blaring in the background.
You should be able to, but why can't I find that?
Okay, let me check. I admit to just assuming. I should never assume.
There you
I
go.
have, I have a plan on the screen.
There
Right.
it is.
Yay, there it is.
Okay, it came in. Okay, good. This is a continued hearing. We continued so that we could do the site visit and review the wetland line. I met with Marilyn and Mr. Levesque Dan, over at the 29 Indian Ridge. We parked, we walked the wetland line, the bordering vegetated wetland, and we walked all the way to the bank. We identified every flag along the back of the house lot. We pointed out to the area where the house will be located, outside of the 100-foot riparian. And I kind of showed you where the septic would go, and it was in a lawn area, and I think that was most of what we talked about while we were there. I can zoom in. There you go.
Yep, thank you, Rebecca. Yes, we were out there and this was one of my first walks with Dan, so I did not, I had no issues. All the flags were identifiable. It's well within the whatchamacallit, oh my God, my brain fart tonight. It's not in the 25-foot. Thank you, Marilyn. And I had no issues with this filing. Dan, would you like to weigh in on your walk out there?
Yeah, no, I would just agree with you. We went out and we were able to identify all of the flags. Everything looked great, and the area that we were able to find for where the proposed site will be looked great, and confirmed with the property owners that abutters have been notified and we're okay with the work, so everything looked good.
Yeah, there was just a slight thing in the driveway, but it's such a small driveway. It's a grass area. They drive up anyway. So again, I had completely no issues with this. I was satisfied with the line. Bob, anything from your end on this before I hand it to the rest of the commissions?
I have nothing. I have nothing on any of these applications, Marilyn. I
Oh,
mean,
well, that will
you know,
make my
that-
job easier. Thank you. All right, so let's go right down the line. Laurie?
The only thing I was going to suggest is no further clearing or anything in the 100-foot inner riparian. I mean, the house is far enough away, but I've seen people clear right up to the riverfront, and I just want to make sure it doesn't happen in this case. So I just wanted to put it out there. If you agree with me, great. If you don't, that's fine too.
No, I think that's, I mean, that's
No, that's
perfectly
fair.
fine. And we're gonna do a little pruning on one of the trees that's close to the house. That's perfectly acceptable. It's within the 10. Yeah, and definitely no clearing out back. I mean, yeah, we can certainly special condition that, but everything is up right on the lawn. So I don't have an issue with that. I'll go to the next commissioner. We have Eileen, please.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I agree with Laurie, though, no clearing in the back by the waterfront or on the side either, for that matter.
Yep. Perfect. Anything further, Eileen?
Nope.
Okay, Deb?
No, I agree with both Eileen and Lori, and I'm good with everything else.
Okay, I think we're all agreeing no further clearing. Did I miss anybody? Eileen, Deb, Laurie, myself. All right. Dan, anything further to add before I open it up to the public?
No, nothing further to add.
Okay, so at this time, if anybody in a butter or anybody in the audience would like to make a statement or has a question on the notice of intent, this is 29 Indian Ridge, map 85, lot 93. You can please raise your hand via chat and Bob will let us know.
And if you are going to speak, I ask that you state your full name and address, please.
Yes, sorry for the record. Yep.
So let me see if there are any hands. I am not seeing any, Madam Chair.
Okay, seeing no questions, then Chair would entertain a motion, please, to close the notice of intent hearing on 29 Ridge, map 85, lot 93.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that.
All right, so we have a motion by Deb, a second by Laurie. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote for closure. Deb,
Yes.
Eileen,
Aye.
Laurie,
Aye.
and myself as an aye. So we are officially closed on 29 Indian Ridge. Chair would at this time entertain a motion to approve 29 Indian Ridge notice of intent with special condition of no further clearing.
I'll make a motion.
So,
I'll
okay.
second it.
And that was Laurie and second by Deb.
Correct.
Mhm.
Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. I think we captured it with the Claren. Roll call vote. Laurie,
Aye.
Eileen,
Aye.
Deb,
Aye.
and myself as an aye. So thank you. We are officially closed and approved on 29 Indian Ridge, map 85, lot 93.
Thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. All right, moving right along, we're gonna go into new business. We have a notice of intent, 550 Curve Street, map 78, lot 20. This is an applicant of Kevin Bumpus with Silver Engineering. We do have a DEP file number issued as SE 116-1580. I have the public hearing and I have seen all green cards and I have all notices on tonight's notice of intent. So they're all in my computer. So 550 Curve Street, Bridgewater, legal notice of public hearing, Conservation Commission, Bridgewater, Massachusetts. In accordance with the Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Town of Bridgewater Local Wetland Bylaw, the Bridgewater Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on March 26, 2026 for notice of intent filed by Kevin Bumpus. The property is owned by Kevin Bumpus and is located at 550 Curve Street, map 78, lot 20. Please contact the Bridgewater Conservation Office at 508-697-0950 for the time and location or link for the virtual participation. All interested parties are encouraged to attend. Agenda can be found at www.bridgewatermass.org at least 48 hours prior to meeting. This ad was published the ad came in 3/16. Sorry, it published 3/16. Rebecca, you are now open.
Okay, let me share the plan and try to walk us through what we're trying to do. This is for a single family dwelling on Curve Street. I'm gonna actually start with what it was. So this is the overall property right here. We got 325 feet of frontage. We've got over 2 acres of land. The main home sits right over here on the side of the lot. And we're looking to put another house right over here on the other side of this area of ponding. Now, this is an area of ponding. You can see that street drainage does kind of flow into this area, and I have more visual aids to talk about this. So we had Ken flag the wetlands in June, I think it was June 2025. And so we flagged.
Rebecca, could you just mention Ken's full name, please?
I'm sorry, Ken Thompson of 5 Wetlands flagged the botanist. He flagged the wetlands. And we went out and located it via survey. And at the same time, when Ken was there, he noticed this ponded area and he had us take volume measurements while we were there. So we'll get into that in a little bit. So there's this wet area sitting on what would be the left side of this proposed new home. Knowing that and hoping that we can have the family stay together on the same 2-acre piece of land, we tried to estimate what would be the most logical place to squeeze in a tiny little home. It's really no bigger than some people's garages these days. We completed some perk tests and we managed to get some soils that would be conducive to septic. And so we're coming before you with the hopes that we would be able to fill this 3,000 square foot. The threshold is 5, so we're under the threshold allowed. This 3,000 square foot area to squeeze this tiny house in and a septic and a well so that we're not using resources from the town. In return, we would replicate our wetlands back in this area. It's near the ditch. It's probably a more appropriate area for the wetlands anyway. When we tried to walk the site, I didn't have enough notice to have it staked. So we do need to go back. While we were there, we did observe via audio that it was a potential vernal pool or a vernal pool. And so what I'm hoping that we can get out of this is walk the site, flag the areas that we're hoping to, do some replication and some filling, make sure that it's not viable habitat. And if it is, we need to look at the provisions for replicating the viable habitat in areas that are suitable, preferably in the area that we're going to replicate. part of the stormwater, we did have erosion control. We do have a dewatering pit because of the well and everything else going on. I don't, looking at my notes, making sure I got them all. Okay. I like to hear from the commission and their thoughts on this.
All right, Elstad, I'm gonna kind of fan it out quickly though. As again, I do, just trying to get Dan familiar with the area, just getting him out there. It definitely needs to be staked and flagged. Of course, one of the biggest things was when we got out of the vehicle, the big pond there, you could, hear, as we call it, vernal talk. So, Dan, I'll let you weigh in, and then I'm gonna have the commissioners kind of, I want to hear what they have to say first too. So, Dan, go ahead, what you saw.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, upon arrival, it definitely, first appearances did have the vernal appearance, and we did hear what sounded like potentially chorusing wood frogs, which is indicative of a vernal pool. Of course, there's more factors that go into the true classification of a verified vernal pool. I did note just yesterday, I believe, on Mass Mapper that the site does have a potential vernal pool marking in that general area. So the state's already aware of the potential vernal pool, but I agree that getting it further staked and flagged and then just further investigated to determine the actual status of the pooling area would be important.
Thank you, Dan. And as I mentioned to you, this is the season that we look at vernal pools. So it's kind of like it fell into the right season for actually looking at a vernal pool. So that being said, I'll get some more comments in from the commission too. So let's start with Laurie.
I was thinking, anything with a vernal pool, I think we should look into getting that certified. I also don't agree with any replicating of any habitat area. They've been there, leave them alone. There was one other thing I wanted to mention too. Replication area, it's supposed to be 2-to-1. It doesn't look like this is a 2-to-1 area.
Rebecca.
Yeah, okay. No, it is not a 2-to-1. The area we were kind of hoping we didn't have to, I'll be honest. Because DEP only requires a 1-to-1. So we can revise this to demonstrate a 2-to-1. What I would like to point out as well, I know I may have made it seem, but this is the area of ponding and vernal pool. And I know the habitat, ventures out 100 feet. But we did do the volume calcs as required for both your bylaws, which says a vernal pool holds a 1/4 acre and all of that. But since you haven't had it, I didn't want to get into it. I want to just be able to submit it to the commission as we progress along this process. It wouldn't be the vernal pool that we're disturbing. It would just be the area, the habitat outside of it, just for clarification. If
Okay.
there is viable habitat of anything important in here, which we want to investigate and look before, we're not going to touch the actual body of water. It does have an outlet. It actually does drain to the ditches that are out in the back here. So the actual pond isn't all this gray area. The gray area makes it look out of control. It's actually a lot smaller when you actually do the volume. So I want to submit it so you all look at it at the same time. And so I'm just putting that out there. The 2-to-1, again, I was hoping we can still fit it and still give you your 25-foot. So I'm okay if that is a condition that you'd like to see. I do want to point out that a lot of this wetland area has expanded due to inadvertent discharges from some pumps on neighbors' properties. So it's really impacted how this section in here kind of has been growing over time. There is a discharge coming in. Just putting it out there because kind of affect how the wetlands will grow.
Thank you. Laurie, you all set, hon?
I'm all set.
All right, let's go to Deb.
Yeah, I'm good with what Laurie said and as far as, and I do agree that the potential vernal pool we should get that certified at some point.
Okay, anything else, hon?
Nope, I'm good.
All right, let's go to Eileen.
Same thing. Definitely want to get that certified. Definitely don't want the habitat disturbed. Other than that, I don't really I think that it would be better at 2-1, but I'm not brokenhearted if it's smaller, a little smaller, but the habitat's the most important part to me in the certification.
So, coming back to me, yeah, it was a little startling when we got out there because I'm like, oh, this ain't straightforward. So, between, we got to look at that vernal pool, get it certified, the, habitat restoration. I'm going to kind of throw it out there as much, looking at the line, the comfort there, but the outside of that, my comfort zone. So I don't know if this is a third pair. I like the flexibility with doing the line, 2-1. Again, that vernal pool has to be, I mean, we've got to get, and it's perfect time. Now's the time to do it. I mean, we're in the season. So
Yep.
thoughts on that, guys?
I agree.
I agree too.
All right. Eileen?
Yeah, I think that you're probably going to need a third party review.
Given the size of the pool and the rest, I mean, again, I'll always say when I'm not comfortable making a judgment, like making a call like that. So if I'm not
Yep.
comfortable, somebody else is, but I'm not comfortable. So, I think we can get it staked, and Rebecca, would the applicant be in agreement to a third peer review?
On behalf
And
of the
again,
client.
we're just looking at the vernal pool, the wetlands,
Oh, I
we're not.
understand. I understand completely. We have no problem if we can solicit 3 quotes and then review them before choosing. That would be fabulous.
So Dan will have the list in the office. There's 3 approved. Again, we're not looking for a techno review, so they have the 3 that they can get their quotes from, and then once they do, they can submit it, to us. So it's for the applicants to get to, kind of get a price shop on that.
Perfect.
Any other comments before I open this up to the abutters in the public? Okay. The only thing I will say is I will stress where this is the time of the season that, let's get that third pair right in. So Dan or Bob, anybody in the audience that has a question?
Before, I mean, the only thing I would say, Marilyn, is, piggybacking on what you just said, because we're in the wet season, you're going to continue this, but you might want to put a date that you want the third party review completed by.
Yeah, so I mean, in all sense, Rebecca, do you know honestly what you would think to contract somebody, get them out there? Are you looking, within the 4 weeks? I mean, it's the right time to do it.
I wish to continue for 2 weeks and hope that we can find somebody and just ask for continuation. So if I can get a list, it is the busy season, so hopefully the 3 companies understand and can move forward.
Yep, I'm all for moving forward and putting the right eyes on it. So we'll get back to doing the
Members of the public.
extension. But right now, anybody in the public have a question or concern on this filing on 550 Curve Street, map 78, lot 20? So what we're doing right now is getting another set of eyes out there, and this will be continued. But if you have something you would like to add to the commission, please feel free.
So use the raise your hand feature or send a message in the chat. So let me just go through. Dun-dun-dun. Madam Chair, I am not seeing any.
Okay.
Wait, hang on, I take that back. There is a Kevin, I don't know if it's Kevin Bumpus or Kevin Bumpu, or he spelled his name wrong.
Bumpus.
He's raised his
Bumpus.
hand.
Yes, yeah.
So if you want to unmute yourself, Kevin, and speak.
State your
Can you
name
hear
and
me?
record, please.
Can you hear me? Kevin Bumpus, 550 Curve Street.
Yeah, you have to do something with your audio because we're having flashbacks to Woodstock and the announcement on the brown acid.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm on my computer.
But
Is
you've
there
got to
anything
have,
else on in the
do you have your
background? 'Cause
phone
you're
or something
echoing.
else on? Because you're getting feedback.
Are you listening to us like on a phone and a computer?
No,
That's weird.
I just had one question. Am I still having feedback?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
Well, see if you can ask it quickly and then put yourself back on mute so they can respond.
Yeah. Any
That's better. Yep.
Okay. I just had a question on
Did we
and
lose
he was
him?
gone.
We lost him.
All right, he might come back in. There
Mm-hmm.
is another member of the public, Melissa, who has her hand up. So,
Am I there?
Kevin, we're
yeah,
not
Kevin,
able
you're
to
gonna have
hear
to
you
figure
at
that
all.
out because we can't hear you.
No.
Let us go to another resident and then we'll come back to you. If you put yourself on mute and then when you figure it out, we'll come back.
Hi, good evening. Hopefully you can hear me. Melissa Raymondetta, Lakeside Drive, Bridgewater.
Yep,
We can hear
we
you,
can hear you,
Melissa.
Melissa.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make mention and appreciate your observation of the vernal pool. And, it's the next few months are big night for the salamanders and other amphibians in the vernal pools. I did want to mention in terms of when the actual work gets done, that would be within the cycle when the vernal pool dries up and the hatchlings leave the site. And appreciate you hearing my comment.
Okay, thank you. Good comments. Thank you.
I don't know if
Do we have Kevin
has,
back at this time?
go ahead, Kevin, let's try again.
How are we any better?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I just put my headphones in. So I guess my big question is I certainly embarked on this with a little bit of knowledge, having gone through this many years ago, putting a pool in, but also watching your meetings and then analyzing the wetland bylaw. So I guess that's where I'm a little confused in that under section 7, letter Q, which is how I kind of got going on this to build a little retirement home next door. It says that the 100-foot buffer, et cetera, for all certified and potential vernal pools with a storage volume equal or greater than 1/4 acre foot. And I think Rebecca touched on that a little bit. A 1/4 acre foot is 10,890 cubic feet. We did a volume test last year in April and we were at 5,500 square feet. So that's where I guess I'm a little confused on if it says this and it's in the bylaw, is that vernal pool?
He's cutting out again.
He's cutting out again. So I think I kind of got what he was asking. So, Kevin, there are things in the bylaw, but there's also, as the guardians of the wetlands, we have our responsibility to make sure if we suspect a vernal pool that we get it looked at, certified. If we feel that this is, requiring a third-party peer review, that's within the rights of the commission to do that. So it's just kind of like collaborating like you do on a patient. We want to make sure we're doing the best for that situation out there, and that's what the commission is aiming to do right now. So we'll make it good.
Can I add to that?
Sure.
Sorry, Mr. Bumpus. I would like to remind Mr. Bumpus and the commission that they haven't actually seen the calculations, Kevin. Part of this next step of information that we're going to provide to them will be the calculations to show them that it doesn't have the volume. So just so we're on the same page as well. The third-party review will help us establish all that information.
Yep.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Any other questions that you're seeing, Bob?
Let me just go through the list one more time. Madam Chair, no.
Okay, so at this point, Chair's going to entertain a motion first that we vote for the third-party peer review. So Chair would entertain a motion, please, for a third-party peer review on 550 Curve Street, with delegation looking at the, the restoration calculations of the vernal pool, things like that within that scope.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second it.
That was Deb. Okay. Any
Yep.
further discussion? Anything else anybody would like to add on the third peer?
No,
Oh, okay. Roll call vote then. Third peer. Laurie,
Aye.
Deb,
Aye.
Eileen?
Aye.
And myself as an aye. All right, that being said, for the third party, again, Rebecca, he's got the list in the office. Those are all acceptable to the commission, and you can get right on that. Now, you want to request a continuance? Where this is the first continuance, you can tell us what you're hoping for. Did you say the next meeting out, which is the 9th?
Yes, please, and then we can just adjust it accordingly.
Okay, all right, just want to make sure I have the.
Also,
Correct.
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry.
No.
Will we have the site walk prior to the next meeting, even if the third party is doing the review, right?
I have no problem doing the site walk with it staked out before the third party review. So you can
Okay.
certainly email Dan when it's fully staked out. Yep.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. So Chair would entertain a motion, please, for the continuation of 550 Curve Street, map 78, lot 20, for our next meeting, April 9th.
I'll make a motion. Debbie.
Second.
Yep. Second
Eileen.
by Eileen, motion by Deb, second by Eileen. Okay,
Yep.
roll call vote. Deb,
Aye.
Eileen,
Aye.
Laurie,
Aye.
and myself as an aye. Thank you very much. And again, anybody on here, that's your notice that this hearing on 550 Curve Street is continued to February 9th. So thank you very, very much.
March 9th, April 9th. You
April
said
9th,
February. April 9th,
What did I say?
February.
February.
Oh my God. Geez, that's my birthday month. I'm aging myself. Actually, February 9th is my anniversary.
There you go.
Must be thinking of the hubby out there. All right, moving right along. We have notice of intent, 548 South Street, map 61, lot 121. We have applicant representative is George Bullard, and we have Silva Engineering. I do have a DEP file number SE 116-1579, and I have green cards in possession. And let me read the ad for 548 South Street. Legal notice of public hearing, Conservation Commission, Bridgewater, Massachusetts. In accordance with the Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131 and Section 40, and the Town of Bridgewater Local Wetland Bylaws, the Bridgewater Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on March 26, 2026 for the notice of intent filed by George Bullard. The property is owned by Dorothy Poland and is located at 548 South Street, map 61, lot 121. Contact the Bridgewater Conservation Office at 508-697-0950 for the time and location of the link for virtual participation. All interested parties are encouraged to attend. Agenda can be found at www.bridgewatermass.org at least 48 hours prior to the meeting date, and we had a publication of 3/18 on that one. So Rebecca, you are now open.
Thank you yet again, Rebecca, Silver Engineering. We are sharing a definitive subdivision, a 4 or fewer lot definitive subdivision, actually, off of South Street, near the school. We did an existing conditions. We have the wetland line flagged by Ken Thompson of 5 Wetlands. He did it in August of 2025. He flagged a series along the ditch. There's this ditch that does go to the north and across to the Mitchell property. He identifies it in his report. We laid out the 100-foot buffer. We have done test pits for drainage, and they were witnessed by the town engineer. We still have to do perk tests and for the individual house lots. If I go through the pages here, we have a narrow 16-foot wide paved. We have the swales on the side with the stone and the check dams. We have 2 drainage basins. We have an outfall currently on this version shown outside of the right of way. I say that because the town engineer has provided his comment letters, and he has asked that we take this discharge and place it inside of the right of way. So we've made some changes to address the town engineer's comments along the way here. So I'm going to keep going, and what we've done here is we've laid out the potential grading and drainage for the lots. One of the DEP comments I just wanted to clarify was the wetland impacts. So we show this grading and drainage on this back lot, lot 3, with the note that we clearly cannot do this without additional permitting and review by the commission. We did it so that the town engineer and subdivision control could be met in the town of Bridgewater, which is the 90% free to post. So this is currently not permitted. It will have to come before you for its own notice of intent. This entire driveway will all be subjected to its own notice of intent. This one is strictly for construction of the roadway in the 100-foot buffer. So just this activity in here under the jurisdiction. Again, there's a note. We did the drainage. We met the 10 standards. Even though it's a 4 or fewer lot, which does not necessarily have to be fully compliant with the 10 standards. We are in a zone 2, which means we do have to comply fully with the 10 standards. So I wanted to show you real quick some of the other changes, just so you're aware. The town engineer asked for the change. This hasn't been submitted to them yet. Their next meeting is April 15th, and they will see this on that plan. So better for you, in fact, because now we are a little bit further from the wetlands with our discharge. Did I hit all my parts? Did I hit all the points? One moment. Yeah. So, any questions from the commission?
Thanks, Rebecca. So, obviously, we're gonna need to get out there. I'm mistaken by the corner. I'm thinking my thing is following.
You're all
Yeah,
squinty.
thank you. I'm using my thing, thinking you guys are seeing it all. Yeah, if we could stake out that driveway corners by the wetland line. It's busy. I'll stop passing it on, Laurie.
The first thing I noticed, I mean, I know Rebecca said you didn't want to talk about lot 3, but you've got 2 wetland crossings to access that back lot.
Well, hang on. Let me count with you because
I might have missed one, but I saw 2.
there's only one. This
I
one
saw
right here.
2.
You saw 2. What
Okay.
2 crossings did you see?
I saw.
We're crossing the ditch right here.
Oh, you're crossing the ditch there. Okay. And this is the wetlands up here, correct?
The blue dashed line right here is the wetland.
Okay, the blue is the wetlands. Okay.
The red is the 25.
All right. So we're crossing that. So we are crossing a wetland to access it. That's what was my main point.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
This will all have to be under its separate notice of intent so that we can review everything appropriately. So that's why I was hovering on this one. Only
Right.
because the request right now for this notice includes just this. We will come back to you before we do anything on lot 2 or lot 3.
Okay. I'm not a fan of wetland crossings. I'm just not. This lot seems to be like you're trying to fit a lot in on it. But like I said, we can speak to lot 3 when it comes back, but I don't like crossing a wetland to access a property. That's my opinion. We'll see what the commission has to say about it.
Sorry, I muted because I was making a lot of noise with the big plan I have here. All set, Laurie?
I'm all set.
Okay. Again, I said the same thing, busy. So let me just go to Deb.
So this notice of intent is just for the driveway, is what we're saying?
Just
Right
for
now?
the 16-foot wide roadway, hammerhead,
Mm-hmm.
the grading and the drainage. That also does include
Okay.
a hydrant, fire suppression, water for that. And the vegetation, the trees along for a subdivision. It includes, the drainage required for Bridgewater for a 4 or fewer lot, which is the stone ditches. Nothing to do with the development of lot 3 and nothing to do with the development of lot 1. I'm sorry, 2 and 3. Oh, I'm looking at 1.
So is it, yeah, I have nothing then if it's just for the roadway right now.
Thank you, Deb. Eileen, please.
The roadway is only 16 feet wide. Is there a reason for that?
It's allowed as a reduced development roadway in Bridgewater?
Okay. 16 feet, huh?
Yeah. With
Wow.
2-foot shoulders on either side and these, the stone swales on the side. Yeah,
Just a little bit wider than the driveway.
right. Well, it's only serving 3 homes,
Well,
And-
I'm concerned
and
about
the
the fire department and all that turning around and
hence the turnaround, yeah.
in the ambulance
That's a good
Yep.
point.
and two-way traffic.
Yeah, no, we've done a few of these smaller for a
Yeah.
few lots and is 16-foot wide.
Okay. Well, that was my only question, really.
All right, did I hit all the members?
I think so.
Okay.
Mhm.
Eileen, and I'm definitely, obviously, like I said, please stake it out. I need to get out there on foot. Eileen, if you want to join me that day, I can give
Yeah,
you a heads
yeah.
up.
Okay.
Same, Dan, just let us know when Rebecca has staked it and we can get out and go from there.
Yep, will do.
Okay, all right. Is the commission all set? Any other comments from you, Dan, at this point?
No, I have no further comments.
Okay, so,
I have one.
go ahead, Laurie.
No, it's Eileen.
Oh, Eileen, go ahead.
Rebecca, can you just maybe supply us with a couple of the roads that look
Your
the
video's
stuff
not
we-
showing. I don't need a video. Nobody had to raise your hand. Oh.
Please, if you're not on the commission, please keep muted. Thank you.
Eileen, I didn't hear your whole request. I'm sorry.
I just was curious if you could supply me with a couple of those so I could visually look at them.
Oh, absolutely. I'll bring.
You know what I mean? So I could see one that's already done.
Oh, did you? There's a new one on Winter Street, Hamden Ave. Quite the hill. I can send you a few addresses. You bet.
Thank you.
All right, sounds good. So, commission members are all set then?
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna open this up to the public, for any comments, questions, or concern on this filing for 548 South Street, map 61, lot 121. Please direct all questions to myself, the chair, and then we'll happily get you some answers. I am gonna note just for the public record that the commission received a letter from William and Elsie Burden prior to the meeting. Please note that we have that in our possession and it will go into the record. I did get to read it, not sure if the other commissioners did, but we have it. It's noted. Thank you very much. And at this point, Bob, please let me know if there's anybody with their hand up or.
Again, if you like to speak, use the raise your hand feature or put a message in the chat and just run through the list.
I believe there is a Bill Burden who is raising their hand in real life. and
Yeah,
not
I
virtual.
see a real life hand. That I can see. All right, we'll let you,
Oh,
can
you're
you-
muted.
yeah,
Mr.
Bill
Burden,
Burden, can you unmute, please? And just for the record, state your name and address for the record, please. There
Hi,
you go.
this is Bill and Elise Burden at 526 South Street.
Thank you, go ahead.
Well, first of all, we have, all of these lots are long, like the same as Mrs. Poulin's house. We're very concerned about the disruption of the nature of our properties, but also we have, we sit on an aquifer in this area. We have a lot of wildlife. I get deer, they cross the school is right next door, so their habitat has shrunk. We have real concerns about the fact that there's going to be asphalt, which, believe me, they're trying to fit in a little road to make the most out of this. They're going to be 3 houses very close together with septic systems. Sewer septics and foundations, a huge cul-de-sac, all on natural land that has been undisturbed for a long time. It's way too much construction for what's there. I'm very concerned about the wetlands, but also, anything that's going to disturb the groundwater as far as this goes. We have people who are suggesting to put wells right next to our property. You're going to have, this big cul-de-sac. This area, this is just unusual to have such a clustering of houses between these old 100-year-old plus houses. It just, to me, it doesn't make any sense. It's way too much development. Maybe if there was just a driveway for one property, but I don't see this. I see this as a real disturbance to the quality of the living around here. But I am also, we feed lots of animals out here. I have like 7 bird feeders. I'm just afraid that this overdevelopment is going to change the character of how we live around here. And it's really uncharacteristic for this neighborhood. And that is my concern. I'm not happy about it at all. I think it's way too much for that lot.
All right. I truly thank you for your input. I'm just going to give you a friendly reminder, like I said in the beginning, we are here strictly for wetlands only. Our job is to make sure the wetlands are protected, that they're within their rules, regulation, performance standards, and that they adhere to that.
What about the aquifer, though? I mean, the fact that we're on top of groundwater and they're proposing these septic systems and everything else. I mean, the town has an issue with water right now.
And yes, the town does have an issue, but again, I'm going to say we're strictly wetlands,
I see.
and that has to be looked at by the department. So I hear you, but just know that the wetlands eyes are going to be on this. So we are the the wetlands eyes. So
Okay.
I thank you for your comments, truly.
All right. Thanks.
Is anybody else, Bob, with a question or a comment or concern on this filing?
Yes, Melissa has her hand up.
All right, Melissa, unmute, and I think name and address for the record.
Thank you. Melissa Raymond at Lakeside Drive. I just did want to mention about the aquifer. I'm not too familiar with the aquifer in the South Street area, but it's probably near Carver Pond, I would guess.
Right.
But there is aquifer protection zoning, and that zoning, my understanding, would be under the purview of the building inspector, Mr. Solari, and the CED. So perhaps someone needs to look at that. And it sounds like this has already gone through planning board. I'm not sure if it's going through simultaneously, but that may be something that should be under consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't really know what other boards it's under, just for a note. Again, wetlands, but I thank you for your comment. And we're going to just start by getting our eyes out there. That's our first step, is to get out there, notify us when it's staked, and get out there with boots on the ground and take a look. Is there anybody else?
I am not seeing any, Madam Chair.
Okay. All right. With that said, then, again, we have to get out there and take a look. Chair would entertain a motion for a continuance to our next meeting, which is April 9th, and go from there.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All right. Hearing a motion in a second. Any further discussion? All right. Roll call vote for continuance of 548 South Street, map 61, lot 121. Debbie?
Aye.
Eileen?
Aye.
Laurie?
Aye.
And myself as an aye. So again, anybody here on that tonight? This is your notice that this is going to be continued to February. What do I keep saying? February 9th. will be continued to April 9th. And by then we will have done a site walk. Thank you. All right, we are rolling right into the next notice of intent, which is off Summer Street, Old State Farm Trail, map 90, lot 999A. Applicant representative is Justin Casanova Davis. That sounds familiar. And Silva Engineering. At this point, I do not have a DEP file number. Dan or Bob, do you know if one came in on this?
I believe one came in today.
Okay. So I'll just note that we have it. And then let me just read into, I have the green cards on this, and let me just read into the notice. We have off Summer Street, Bridgewater, legal notice, public hearing, Conservation Commission, Bridgewater, Massachusetts. In accordance with the Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, in the town of Bridgewater, local wetland bylaw, the Bridgewater Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on March 26, 2026. For notice of intent filed by the town of Bridgewater. The property is owned by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and is located off Summer Street, map 90, lot 999A. Please contact the Bridgewater Conservation Office at 508-697-0950 for the link and time. Location is for all parties interested are encouraged to attend. Agenda can be found at www.bridgewatermass.org at least 48 hours prior to the meeting, and we were published on 3/16. Rebecca, you are officially open. Rebecca, you're muted.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, I am pushing the button that put us on the screen here. Okay. But I had one more piece of visual aid. If I can find it. Do that. Do. I'm just trying to give you a bigger overview here, and it's not going to do it for me. Okay, never mind. Okay, so what you have before you, I hope, is the plan. You see the plan on the screen?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So we are on the Commonwealth of Mass, the big open fields. This is the Taunton River. You gotta turn your view a little bit. This is the Taunton River. Okay, and this is the Summer Street. And I believe you are already aware of where the parking lots were kind of proposed and kind of constructed out there. So we have you in front of you a proposed trail. We have one parking lot, the north one, and it would go north all along, all the way through these gray splotches are wetland areas. Okay, so the overview, it's a nice long trail, and all in here is the riverfront, the habitat, the areas that we really want to look at and be part of nature over in here, and then a little bit more in here. The wetlands were flagged by LEC 2023. There's a lot of them. We'll go. I know there was a bit of a site walk. I wasn't able to attend. I know this was the handout given for how some of these piers will be constructed and some of these walkways. So some of the walkways will be what you see before you. If Dick is on, Mr. O'Brien, Mr. O'Brien, he can talk more to the construction of these bits and bobs that he's got here. But the main point of these is that it's very quiet, non-invasive. You put this little bulb in the ground, and then you spread these spears into the ground, and it supports the whole thing with little impact. You are not digging anything more than that little, probably 2x2, and then you're drilling these piers into the ground at an angle so the soils can help keep the decking up off the ground. So when it comes to impacts, it's very, very little, because once these are in, they just build the planking and the hardware free floats above it. I know the DEP number came in. It did have comments, stream crossings, calculations that we need to, talk over. Again, this is another one of those where we probably want to look at, for instance, we have a little bit of a bridge right here. We would want to see what it looks like in each area. Again, we're in a habitat in some of these places, so we want to look at it a little bit further. We have 8 bridges throughout the whole length. Again, we have intermittent streams flagged. We have the Taunton River flagged. There's a lot going on. I recommend we kind of go out if we want to. I'm not sure where that site walk went over, but I'm willing to listen to what the commission wants to discuss. I'm going to zip down to the construction, if it helps. So the wood decking sits on top. We've got these cute little diamond piers, and the decking really just floats above what's already there. We'll have the ramp up, so that you're not like stumbling on the wooden. So you're gonna have a little bit of grade change right adjacent to the path. But you can see here, even the planking will adjust accordingly to make it a smooth transition. And then we have the boardwalk, which is very similar in nature. The hardware is a little bit different, the boardwalk compared to the bridge. But the boardwalk will float above the existing grade as well. And a gravel path. So, I can entertain the questions from the commission.
All right, thank you, Rebecca. I'll start and then I'll have Dan. We did go out there just as a very informal, I'm familiar with that area. Just take a look. It's a long trail. These trails I think are great for people. I love the fact that it's going to be handicapped accessible was able to get my mother down to the, all that stuff is great. The equipment looks great. But for me, the bottom line is, this is a complicated, not complicated, but a long line. It's a very, there's crossings, I'll always say, when I'm out of my comfort zone, I'm out of my comfort zone. I definitely want to go back out when it's flagged, but for me, this needs another set of eyes just to make sure with all the crossings and everything, because I am not comfortable making a call on a line that long with that many crossings. But again, I think it's a great thing to have. I'm in support of the project. I just want to make sure we have another set of professional eyes. It looked like Mark did the line. There would be 2 peer reviews left that we could pick from, or the town could pick from. But that's my take, just going out there. So Dan, you were out there with me. So any comments from you at this time?
No, not really anything outside of just echoing what you said. It's a really long line, so getting a third party out there would be a good idea. But we got out there, saw the beginning of it, and saw some flags that were flagging the trail line, but not necessarily flagging either wetlands or river boundaries. So once those are out, I'd really like to get back out there and to walk the trail and really get more into it.
Thank you. I agree. I'd like to get back out there too, but I also know where my limits are. So that being said, I'll hand it off to the commission. Laurie?
I agree with both what you said and what Dan said. I think you need to take a look at it to see what you're up against. It sounds like the trails would be absolutely beautiful. I think it's a great idea, but like I said, that's a fairly substantial wetland, and you want to make sure it's not coming too close, and also the crossings. I don't like crossings, as you know. But that's all I have to say.
We're getting that inclination now.
That's all I have to say.
Okay, great. Again, I support the project too. Just proper eyes. Who do we got? Debbie, please.
No, I agree that we should have a third party looking at it. And but I think we're probably gonna have, to keep this thing going, we may not have a choice with the crossings.
Just want to make sure they're done right. And I would encourage the board to get out there. Maybe we could even make this a quorum when it's set, but it's a good place to get your eyes out there and do it. So I encourage all of us to get out there on this one. Eileen.
Yep, same thing. I agree. We need to get out there and take a look before we make any decisions.
All right, sounds good. With that, I'm going to open it up then for anybody in the public or abutters that have any questions or concerns on the notice of intent. Again, this is off Summer Street, Old State Farm Trail, map 90, lot 999A. Applicant is the town of Bridgewater, Justin Casanova Davis with the Silver Engineering. So please raise your hand to Bob via chat remote.
Hands. Dun, dun. I'm not seeing any, Madam Chair.
Okay. All right. With that, let's see. Chair would then first entertain a motion for a third peer review. So can I get a motion for a third peer review?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
All right. We have a first and a second. Any further discussion?
No.
Okay. Roll call vote. Deb?
Aye.
Laurie?
Aye.
Eileen?
Aye.
And myself as an aye. So Rebecca, with that being said, please give you the applicant the 2 remaining lists, because obviously LEC is one of ours, that he would have to come off that list for a third peer.
Thank you.
And then, again, we still want to get out there ourselves. So do you know when you might want to get this continued? Give us a ballpark and some refreshing.
I'm gonna go for the next one and just adjust accordingly.
You're gonna roll like you roll, okay.
Just gonna do it. Just do it. Yep.
I like how she throws those dice. All right. So again, Chair would entertain a motion then to continue this to next meeting, April 9th.
I'll make a motion
All right.
to continue it.
Second.
Second it.
Okay. I have a first by Deb, a second by Eileen. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote to continuance of April 9th. Laurie?
Aye.
Eileen?
Aye.
Deb?
Aye.
And myself as an aye. All right, great. Thank you very much. Again, anybody in the audience on this for the notice of intent off Summer Street, this is your notice that they are continued to April 9th. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, I think this completes our part of new business tour. So we are going to go right on to conservation business administrative items. We have a certificate of compliance, 911 Conan Street, map 90, lot 99B. Up to 99s tonight. Applicant representative is Brian Beginny. Am I saying that wrong? If I am, I'm so sorry. We have a DEP file number SC 1161542. Is that representative on?
It does
Brian
not
Beginny.
appear so.
Okay, so I myself did not see an engineering report in the packet. Dan, I'll give to you. I believe you don't have one either. And I'm gonna
Yes,
mute
Madam
because
Chair, I believe that this was on a previous agenda for a Conservation Commission meeting that began before I joined on as the conservation agent. So working with what I have, I accumulated all the documents into our meeting packet. So if there's not an engineering letter in there, then I do not currently have it at this time, but I can continue to try to locate it, or we can get in touch with them to acquire one.
Yeah, I think
Well,
that's
Madam
the-
Chair, the fact that there's no one representing the applicant is, I mean, I think without them being in the file and the applicant not being represented, I think you have to continue it.
I was just gonna say the same thing, Bob. We need to reach out to make sure, one, this did have some confusion in the last one. Make sure we've got the right representative on. We definitely need the engineering closeout letter and stuff. So let's just continue this to, it's an administrative item. We'll continue it to April 9, and that gives Dan time to gather the information that we would need to issue or deny.
Yeah, and you don't need to vote on that.
We don't need to vote on it. It's a commission level thing.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Next, moving on, we have Bridgewater Rainham Sand and Stone cease and desist. At this time, I'm going to hand this to the vice chair as I'm going to recuse myself from this. So, Laurie, the bandstand's yours.
Thank you very much. This is an older one. This issue, I asked from what I hear, the previous agent and one of our members went out to view the site, and they saw that there was a substantial amount of filling. Our agent had sent them a letter and an enforcement order saying that we observed wetlands filling, and we wanted them to come before the commission, file a notice of intent, and get it straightened out. No answer. Then we sent another one out on February 10th. Caitlin sent another one out saying they can't, they can't do any filling without a permit. They have to file notice of intent. Still nothing. So I was under the impression, I was ready to come in tonight and say, let's find them, because it's just going on too long. February of 2025, that's a long time.
Yep.
So then I got some correspondence that was sent in to our agent this afternoon from Dan Levesque. And he said, I'm sorry, not Dan Levesque, from Mark Manganiello of LEC Environmental. And I'm just going to read what he had said. Hi, Dan. I just wanted to send a quick update on this project since I'm not able to be at the meeting tonight. I'm planning to get back out to the site towards the end of next week to refine our understanding of pre-disturbance conditions, after which we will be prepared to present a preliminary plan for restoration. We should be prepared to discuss this with the commission at that time. We should be able to update the commission at the April 9th public hearing, so if you could put us on the agenda, we'll plan accordingly. Thanks, Mark. So that's what we got.
Well, that's good.
So
Nice.
any other comments from anybody? Anyone on the commission want to add anything?
I was the person that walked the property with
Okay.
Oh my God, Caitlin. And
Okay.
we did a lot of digging. We had Joey Aruda with us and helping us with using the machines. And he seemed very earnest and willing to cooperate. And I'm surprised that you didn't hear back from him in February, but he was most willing to do whatever he needed to do to make it right. So the fact that Manganello is going to take over, I think is, I feel very good about that. That's all I have to say.
Great.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Deb, do you have any further comments or?
Other than I'm glad we finally heard something. Other than that, we can get it on the next meeting. That'd be good.
Yeah, I would keep it on the agenda and
Yeah.
hopefully Mark gets out there before then and he's indicated that he can appear before you at the April
Yeah.
9th meeting.
Yep. I suggest we continue it.
Okay. I don't know if we want to open it up to see if anyone in attendance wants to make a comment.
It's not a
before we
public
continue
hearing,
it.
Laurie.
Okay, all right. Okay. So I'll ask for a motion to continue this to April 9th.
A motion to, I'll make the motion.
I'll
Motion by
second it.
Amy, second by Deb. Okay. So we're on for April 9th for a
Yep.
continued hearing.
Okay, 1010 Elm Street. Again, this is under administrative business.
Marilyn,
So I
you're
want-
rejoining the meeting? You just need to say you're rejoining the
Oh, I'm
meeting.
sorry, Marilyn Chair, rejoining the meeting at 6:36. We are on 1010 Elm Street enforcement update. So, this would, as you know, just giving a short history of it, they came before us on a notice of intent. We ended up doing a cease and desist for some violations. We ended up doing an enforcement as they were discharging into the ACEC area of the wetlands. We worked out, we had Mark Mangello was hired as the commission's representative for third peer review on this. They were, we lifted the enforcement order as they were going to do the restoration with the SWIFI and start that. Long story short, they didn't start it before inclement weather in December. Just routine going through. I've went in there twice, in the buffer zone. I went just to show Dan the area the other day, and we're back to square one. My take, we did an immediate cease and desist, so Dan would be getting that out. But again, in the buffer zone, the silk fence was not restored and down. You probably saw the pictures Dan sent you with everything leaking right into the wetland with the silt and the thing. So, we called our representative too on this, Mark, and was very disappointed to go out there and see what we saw. I can't stress that enough in that area too, be in any wetland area, but this ACEC area. So I'm at the point now where I think, enforcement we should be voting on enforcement tonight. We'll discuss that. And Laurie, Vice Chair on that, you're going to have more to say with fines and stuff, but, we've drilled it into them. No buffer zone till permitted. Like, you can't get any simpler than that. So Dan, you were with me. You wanted to let the commission know what you observed out there?
Yes, Madam Chair. We got out there and the site seemed mostly disregarded, so to speak. The erosion control barriers, silt fences, and silt socks the fences had either fallen down or been damaged underneath to the point that they were essentially useless. And the silt socks were essentially flattened with sediment buildup on either side, allowing anything to just sort of pass over the top of them, with direct runoff evidence into the wetlands. And there was several piles of what appeared to be salt or some other large quantity of something in the parking lot that also had evidence of direct drainage into the runoff into the wetlands. And like I said, just completely disregarded site. So I would agree that, I'm still going to send them the cease and desist, and whatever you would advise for the next step moving forward, I'm happy to help with.
Thank you, Dan. It was a hell of a day at sea for your first day out there, wasn't it?
Yes, absolutely. It was interesting to sort of set the bar.
Oh, wow, we saw a lot his first day. So you just heard my take. I'm at enforcement level. I'll let the rest of the commission weigh in. Laurie?
I'm all for enforcement. I think we should fine them $350 with interest accruing until something's done to bring this site back into compliance. Silt fence has to be fixed, put back up, reestablished the way it should be. That's my comments.
Is that per day?
Yes.
Okay.
And we'll get the message that we mean business.
Oh yeah, this one here, I'm ready to throw my hands up because they're discharging. That's got to stop.
Yep.
So I suggest that we definitely fine them up per day. Fine, because they're not paying attention.
Thank you. And did I miss one commission? Deb, Laurie, Eileen, everybody spoke?
Deb hasn't gone yet.
Deb, go ahead.
No, I'm in total agreement with the enforcement amount and daily, for sure.
All right, thank you. Okay, so then at this point, we need to, Dan, what you'll do is I'm gonna do a motion and a vote for an enforcement. Along with a cease and desist, you'll need to get that out to the owners. So at this point, Chair's gonna entertain a motion for an enforcement order on 1010 Elm Street with the fine of $350 plus interest per day. I don't know, Bob, if we need to run that by legal or not, but
Yeah, I
believe
was
Laurie-
just going to suggest I'll work with Dan and the town attorney to, I think you need to at least establish an effective date for enforcement to begin.
Okay. Again, this will be their second enforcement. The first enforcement was lifted with the promise of completing the SWIFTY, the restoration, and keeping that area, up to date with the, hay bales and the silk fence, which is, you can do. They had the weather to do it. So again, this will be their second enforcement. So,
So we'll check with the town attorney whether that enforcement begins tomorrow or whatever the date is that Dan puts them on notice that there's an enforcement action in place.
Okay.
Should we
All
have
right.
them come in, Marilyn? Or actually, should we have them phone in for our next meeting on the 9th?
I think we'll have them come in on the next meeting. Right now, this is under administrative business, but between the cease and desist and now the enforcement, which I'm gonna take did I get a motion for that? I can't
I'll
remember.
make a motion.
All right, motion by Laurie.
Second.
Do I have a second?
I second it.
All right, thank you. So I'm gonna do roll call vote for enforcement of 1010 Elm Street. Laurie,
Aye.
Deb? Deb?
Aye.
Okay, we barely heard you, but I got you. And Eileen?
Aye.
And myself as an aye. All right, so we are now doing an enforcement on 1010 Elm. I'll follow up with Dan and Bob on that. So that's where we are with
I
that.
suspect if you're fining them, they'll be at the next meeting.
Gotta get their attention somehow.
Okay, I hope so. Yeah. All right, and Dan, if you can follow up with our peer reviewer on that too, to let him know where we stand with that now. Any questions, you know how to get me. Thanks, Dan.
Yes, absolutely. Got you.
All right, and then the last on our agenda is town wetland protection bylaws. I'll give this to Bob because I think you pretty much touched base on it last week. Last time that we're pretty much waiting for funding. But if you have anything else to add, please do. Because
We have no more funding than we had the last meeting.
okay. So so no update. Okay. Yep.
Didn't the town manager want this to go for like outside review? So maybe we, come up with some ideas and discuss them during our meeting and then just put a little something together and show it to the town manager and then take it from there. Because especially with the funding in town now, it's going to take a while.
We need the funding. Maybe we could do a fundraiser.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not kidding. I mean,
I know.
We need the funds, and then that's the holdup. We need the funds. So, yeah. Anybody have any ideas on how to get the funds? We can entertain that. All right.
Not
It
here.
doesn't seem like there's any minutes. So at this point, our chair would entertain a motion for the adjournment.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, thanks a bunch,
Before
guys. I
you
appreciate
leave,
you all.
Marilyn, before everyone leaves,
Yep.
as quickly as Dan joined us, Dan is actually not going to be at the next meeting because Dan, I'll let you explain why you're not going to be at the next meeting.
Thank you. Yes, I will be leaving for about 3 weeks. I am going to Europe to get married with my fiance. So
Oh,
I will be,
congratulations.
thank you. Yes, I will not be here and I will miss you all, but I will be refreshed and ready to join as soon as I return.
Great.
Well,
Sounds great.
congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We're just happy that you're here with us, so go get married.
That's right.
Thank you. Yeah, happy to be here.
Yes,
All
because
right,
we're
thanks.
all happily married.
That's right. Yeah.
That's why I kept saying February 9th today for some reason. I don't know, instead of April 9th. All right, thanks again, guys.
Good
Everybody have
one,
a great
Bob.
night.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night,
Good night.
everybody.
Good night.